Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Wednesday, May 10, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. New York Mets vs Cincinnati Reds. The New York Mets have a record of 17-19 this season. The Mets are in 4th place in the National League East Division. They have lost 3 straight games coming into Wednesday's game. They have also lost 6 of their last 7. In their latest game, the Mets lost 7-6 to Cincinnati in Game 1 of 3 on Tuesday, May 9th. The Reds led 7-1 going into the 6th inning before the Mets tried to mount a comeback, but there wouldn't be enough time. Francisco Alvarez hit 2 home runs in the game, but it wouldn't be enough. David Peterson pitched 3.1 innings and allowed 4 earned runs and 7 hits as he was credited with a loss. Both teams have struggled in the early portion of the season, but the Mets will feel some confidence coming into this game because of Justin Verlander's return. The starting pitcher will make just his 2nd start on Wednesday. The Reds have scored the 10th fewest runs and the 3rd fewest home runs in the league. The Mets should be able to get past the Reds in this game. Take the Mets to cover. The offensive firepower has been lacking for both teams this season on a consistent basis. They both struggle to hit at the plate and have a tough time scoring. The under is 8-2 in the Mets' last 10 during Game 2 of a series. The under is 4-1 in Reds' last 5 during Game 2 of a series. Take the under on Wednesday. Boston Red Sox vs Atlanta Braves. After combining for 12 runs over the first 2 games of the series, Game 3 had the Red Sox held to just a single run on 5 hits. The lone run came off a solo blast by Tristan Casas in the 5th inning. DH Masataka Yoshida went 2-4 at the plate and has kept his strong batting average of .321 on the season. Tanner Houck got the start for Boston, and over 5.2 innings pitched he struck out 4 while allowing 3 runs. After dropping the first game of the series, the Braves rallied back to take the last 2, although Game 3 required 12 innings for Atlanta to claim victory in a 3-2 final. The Braves managed just 4 hits and were benefited by a Matt Olson homer to start the game off in the bottom of the 1st. It was a wild pitch in the 10th that put the tying run on the board, buying the Braves more time to hit a walk-off double in the 12th. Bryce Elder got the start for Atlanta, and over 5.2 innings he allowed 1 run and struck out 4. Elder also walked 4 over that span. The Braves have been a solid home team all year, and they should have continued success here against Bello, who has given up more than his fair share of road homers. Along with it, the Braves have been able to extend hits for extra bases. The Atlanta bullpen has done well to limit hits and should frustrate the Red Sox here. Take the Braves at home. Atlanta money line. With each of these offenses sitting top 10 in home run rate, it isn't hard to visualize how things could get away from any pitcher quickly. Bello hasn't been as sharp on the road, and the Red Sox offense has done a terrific job taking advantage of their 5th ranked at-bats per game. Expect to see runs here. Our total pick is over 8.5 runs. St. Louis Cardinals vs Chicago Cubs. After dropping 8 straight games, the Cardinals have won 2 in a row, including a 3-1 victory over the Chicago Cubs on the road Monday evening. In his return to Wrigley, catcher Wilson Contreras went 2-4 with 2 RBI and a run scored to lead St. Louis in the win. Outfielder Dylan Carlson drove in the Cardinals' 3rd run in the 2nd inning on a single to left. St. Louis starter Miles McCollum went 4.1 innings and allowed 1 run on 4 hits and struck out 7 Chicago batters. 3 relievers combined for a 1-hit shutout the rest of the way, including 1.1 innings for Ryan Helsley, who earned his 4th save of the season. Second baseman Brendan Donovan gunned down Chicago third baseman Nick Madrigal as he tried to score in the 5th. The Cubs have lost 2 in a row at home, including a 3-1 defeat at the hands of the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday evening. Dansby Swanson knocked in the Cubs' only run with an RBI double, Chicago's only extra base hit, in the 5th inning. In the same inning, third baseman Nick Madrigal was thrown out at the plate while trying to score. The Cubs wasted a solid effort by starter Marcus Stroman, who went 6 innings and allowed 2 earned runs on 4 hits while striking out 6 St. Louis batters. Montgomery has pitched very effectively against the Cubs on the road in his career, allowing just 2 earned runs on 4 hits over a combined 15.2 innings. In his last outing at Wrigley in August, he hurled a complete game shutout and allowed only 1 hit and did not walk a batter. He has pitched very well on the road overall in the new season as well. He has a 0.46 ERA and a 0.92 WHIP in 3 starts away from his home stadium thus far. Steele has had a bit of trouble with the Cardinals in his young career. In 2 starts, he is 0-1 and owns a 5.25 ERA and has given up 14 hits in 12 innings pitched with a 1.58 whip. The Cardinals have played well at Wrigley recently, winning 12 out of 20 games played there since 2021. St. Louis won 3 out of the 5 road games played in the most recent set between these two teams at the end of last season, and they won the first game of the current series. Most of the trends strongly suggest a Cardinals victory over the Cubs on the road Wednesday. Take St. Louis plus 1.5 runs. The Cardinals batted a robust .272 with a .452 slugging percentage at Wrigley in 2022. They scored 8 or more runs in 2 of the last 3 games played there. St. Louis has gone over the point total in 5 of their last 6 games overall. The Cubs currently rank 10th in the league in runs scored per game, 4.94, and the Cardinals have been trending upward, averaging 6.67 runs per game in their previous 3. The Cubs are ranked 5th in the majors in batting average, .268, and St. Louis has moved up to 10th, now batting .258 for the season. The St. Louis pitching staff is ranked in the bottom half of the league, coughing up 4.50 runs per game. The Cubs and St. Louis are ranked 9th and 11th in home runs per game, respectively, so both teams are capable of scoring in bunches. Most signs point to this matchup going over the point total. The San Diego Padres finished last week with 2 straight home losses to the Los Angeles Dodgers. After a 5-2 victory in the opening clash of a 3-game set against the Dodgers and a 2-1 defeat in the middle contest, the Padres blew a 2-1 lead in the top of the 9th of Sunday's closer. They eventually suffered a 5-2 loss in 10 innings, recording their 5th defeat in 11 games. The Minnesota Twins entered the Padres series hoping to snap a 2-game skid. They've dropped 2 straight 3-game series on the road against the Chicago White Sox and Cleveland Guardians, but the Twins were still topping the AL Central on Tuesday, 2.5 games ahead of the Detroit Tigers. On the other side of the ball, the Twins are surrendering 3.60 runs per contest, 3rd. Pablo Lopez will be on the bump Wednesday, and the 27-year-old righty is 2-2 with a 3.77 ERA, 1.09 whip, and 54/10 KBB ratio in 7 starts, 43 IP this season. Lopez finished April with a couple of rough starts, 11 earned runs allowed across 10 innings pitched, but bounced back last Thursday, tossing 7 frames of a 2-run ball in a no decision against the White Sox. I've mentioned the Padres' struggle at the plate, and the Twins' offense has been even worse, so I'm expecting to see a tight, low-scoring affair. Both bullpens have done a solid job so far this month. The Padres relievers own a 0-2 record, 1.77 ERA, 8.0 K9, and .176 opposing BABIP in May, while the Twins' bullpen holds a 1-3 record, 2.37 ERA, 8.0 K9, and .191 opposing BABIP. The current Twins are just 4-4-22 with 1 home run against Seth Lugo. On the other side, the current Padres are 18-4-63 with 5 doubles and 4 dingers against Pablo Lopez. Juan Soto is 9-for-25 with a couple of homers, and Manny Machado is 3-for-6 versus Lopez. I'm taking San Diego. And our total pick is over. Chicago White Sox versus Kansas City Royals. The Chicago White Sox have been struggling a bit throughout the season as they are sitting in 20th place in the sport with a .694 team ops while averaging 4.44 runs per game thus far. They have been incredibly well throughout the year swiping bags as they are currently 21 stolen bases on 23 attempts. Center fielder Luis Robert has been swinging the bat pretty well as he has a .825 ops with 7 homers, 20 RBI, 23 runs scored, and a stolen base without being caught. Brad Keller has been absolutely brutal, according to his baseball saving page, as he is in the 4th percentile in walk percentage, 10th percentile in chase rate, 12th percentile in strikeout percentage, and 22nd percentile in average exit velocity. Keller has a 6-pitch arsenal: fastball, curveball, slider, sinker, changeup, sweeper, and his fastball has been hit the most, as it has a .361 batting average and a .583 slugging percentage so far this year. He faced the White Sox 4 times, 3 starts, and is 0-1 in 22 innings, and gave up 14 runs on 26 hits, with 3 walks and 11 strikeouts. Diving into the whips of these starting pitchers shows a large difference as Lance Lynn is pitching to a 1.53 whip, while Brad Keller has a 1.82 whip this season. There is also a slight difference in the power strokes, as the White Sox have hit 38 homers as a team, 16th in MLB, while the Royals have 33, 23rd in the sport. Looking at the length of time it takes to hit home runs all in all, go with the Chicago White Sox to win here. Our team pick is Chicago White Sox. Both starting pitchers are allowing too many hits against them, as Lance Lynn has a .283 batting average against, while Brad Keller has an opposing batting average of .276 so far. These bullpens have been struggling way too much as Chicago is currently 29th with a 6.37 reliever ERA, while Kansas City is 27th in baseball with a 5.24 bullpen ERA this year. The over has hit in 5 of the last 7 games against one another, so go with over 9 runs in this game.